So, one thing that I've been noticing about the world is it seems like every year we get more and more attached to the concept of race and racism.
I can't stay away. I can't stay away.
Well, yeah, especially in the United States. I mean, if you look at the countries in Europe, those countries are homogenized. French people, they share a common language, they share a common ethnic background.
Right.
Italy, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic. When you have those conflicts, they're along ethnic lines, and ethnicity and race are not the same thing.
Not at all.
Because we can, in the Balkans, it's the Slavs, it's different race, Gypsies, Turks, all that. You sit there and look, and to most people here in America, we see white people,
Right.
but they're not. If you told those people that they were white, they would look at you like you're fucking crazy.
Right.
You meet someone from Azerbaijan, they look white.
Right. Right.
In America, it is truly a melting pot. You get Irish, Poles, English, Spaniards, all sorts of people mixed in with the native peoples that live here.
Right.
And it's hard to divide people on ethnic lines. Mm-hmm. So what did they do? They created race. And all of a sudden, if you're from Europe, you're white.
Right.
And if you're from anywhere from Africa, any origin from there, you're black.
Right. They homogenize the term to homogenize the people.
A lot of people forget Spanish is a purely European Romance language.
Right.
But all of South America, the Caribbean, Mexico, we call that Latin America. Mm-hmm. And here in the West, especially the Western hemispheres, not Western Europe, race is a surrogate for class. Race prevents us, the proletariat, the people, from uniting because we're so caught up in fuck that white motherfucker, fuck that black motherfucker. I don't fuck with the brown people. I don't fuck with the Arabs, any of that. And that's what race has done in America. It's prevented the lower classes from banding together because they hate each other over what is a true social construct.
It's all the way a construct. Race is not a fact. It's an idea. Yeah. The people get so crammed into one box and they become actual products of the box they were crammed in. They get out and they still are shaped the way that they were packed in the box. And that's kind of like what we're dealing with right now. Like, even if we got rid of the idea of race, people would still, even if we took race off of every document, every application, people would still consider themselves.
I can't stay away. I can't stay away.
As far as the way that we dressed in the 90s and the late 90s, we wore a lot of black brands.
Carl Canal, Cross Colors, FUBU.
All that. Platinum FUBU, Rockaware, Sean John. So many different black brands that are influenced by Fat Farm, all of it.
Apple Bottoms.
Man. Vocal.
You know, hell, what T.I. had, what was it, a Cool?
A Cool. That was in the early 2000s. There
was like a period of time where it was like, yo, every G-Unit had shit out.
That's all after a while, in the 2000s, In the late 90s, 2000s, that was all we did. All black people wore was black clothes. All we wore was black clothes. All we watched was black TV. We watched BET. That's what
BET. Remember Fox?
Fox.
Fox had Martin,
WB.
Living Single, New York Undercover.
Right.
Then the WB And UPN came out and they started their whole networks
Right.
with black sitcoms, black dramas. And once they got a foothold,
Right.
then Dawson's Creek came in.
Right.
One Tree Hill came in. Felicity came in, and they kind of pushed the Wayans brothers out.
Yeah.
And,
That's funny.
I mean,
Felicity. That's funny.
It's like clockwork.
Dawson's Creek.
Hey,
That's funny. That's funny.
I don't want away.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I used to watch the shit out of
Rise to
it.
the
And hell, the
over.
One Tree Hill theme song was cold too.
That's funny,
I
man.
don't want to be anything other
They
than.
came with. They had to come with it. They had to come with it. And I'm saying, like, what happened to all them to us wearing black brands? Like, that's all we wore for so
I mean,
long.
you know what? They sold out, and they sold out. They got bought, and then they kind of just got absorbed into something else, and we forgot about it, and became non-fashionable. I remember in junior high, if you had a FUBU jersey, you was that nigga. I had 5 different FUBU jerseys. I remember that first week of
It
school.
was the shit.
I came in there with the FUBU jersey.
Oh my
you couldn't
God,
tell
it was
me
the
shit.
I promise, FUBU was more impressive to wear to me and to most people in my class when I was in 6th grade. FUBU was more important to wear.
I had a whole FUBU
than
wardrobe.
polo. It was way more impressive to wear FUBU than polo. FUBU was like, it was like way up there. Like platinum FUBU and FUBU was like, oh man, you got the FUBU jersey. You got the FUBU shirt on.
I lived in a small town, Texarkana, Texas, man. And you couldn't go to the mall and get no FUBU, so I had to go to this spot called GQ Look, downtown Texarkana.
GQ Look.
Like, you know, it was like the black...
Anything GQ Look is in any city is a black-owned store, by the way, if no one knows
There was an old black man there. If you needed a suit, go down there.
Any suit they saw was just Steve Harvey type of suit. It was baggy.
It was damn near a zoot suit, man, from the 20s.
It was like a pimp suit. That's where all the pimps shopped. The GQ stores. Anywhere.
Yeah, man,
and they was all independently owned. I think it was a GQ store in every city in America.
Yeah, man.
Any black side of town.
Old black man there.
Yeah.
Shit. And unfortunately, you know how it is with black culture, man. Somebody young die, you go to GQ Look to get the suit so they can be buried or something.
That's how it goes. That's hilarious. That's crazy. That's not funny, but I'm saying it's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that was where you went.
All of us. I'm Oklahoma City. I'm from Oklahoma. I was born and raised in Oklahoma City, and it's crazy how that's the same exact case. And the place was called GQ Fashions, though. Not GQ Look. GQ Fashions.
It's like a newsletter went around, and it was like, "Hey, put GQ so you know that's the black spot."
Oh my God, dog! That's the exact same. That's funny. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I thought we was the only one with a GQ store. Nah, but yeah. So I'm thinking, it's funny how this one guy changes the game. After the white people were, I don't know, Jewish, white, I don't know what they are. I'm not trying to hate on Jews. Don't try to say that, not being anti-Semitic. I'm just saying whoever bought all these companies did a good job because they put them out of business too. They put them out of business, and now they have our black dollar at every company from Adidas, and I wear Adidas pridefully. I got
Adidas on right now. Y'all see the tracks?
Exactly. I wear Nike pridefully. I don't care. I don't even care anymore, but we used to care. I'm saying, but after all that happened, everybody got bought out. Everyone. Sean John got bought out. Fat Farm got bought out. Rockaware even got bought out. Shout out to Dame Dash, because Dame Dash, he fought hard to keep everything in our hands. So for so long, he fought so hard to keep like black brands remaining black and remaining independent from being bought out like that. And it still ended up happening that way for him. How did that even happen? You know? And he's the guy that discovered Kanye. Or not discovered him, but he's the guy that took a chance on him. And discovered Jay-Z. And was the pit bull at Rockefeller. And still they had to sell it. I'm saying that's how strong that the force was to make sure they bought everything that blacks were making, that blacks really were patronizing.
I think a lot of it is offers got made that people didn't want to refuse.
can't stay away. I can't stay away.
But it's hard for me to criticize someone from selling out because I don't know if I would turn down certain shit. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sit here and act like, oh no, I'm gonna be down to the end, blah blah blah. I don't know for
Think
certain.
think about how far. Think about how far Dame and Jay would have came by now, and Cream Biggs. Think about how far they would have came by now.
maybe
If they had the control, think about how different they would be in what position. I'm talking about the position they're in now. They would have all three been in that position. And like Jay-Z said in that lyric, if every nigga on your team is rich, your team is rugged, nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. They would all be billionaires. And what's better than one billionaire, says Jay-Z? Two. Especially when they from the same hue as you. I'm saying it would have been different if they would have kept their stuff and kept their stock. And I just think we'd be in a different position. But that's just me. I don't know. But Kanye came from it. Jay-Z came from it. It was a great situation for a lot of people. Rihanna's came from it.
To the point she don't care
I
about
think
doing
the
music
influence on Beyonce came from it. Came from Rockefeller, being a group, being a crew the way they was, and Kanye now is the most influential figure in the world, probably.
Even now that he's quote unquote canceled.
Oh yeah, his cancellation made him even more influential.
Adidas. I feel like Adidas really didn't want to sever ties with Kanye because it's hurting them so bad. And I mean, let's put this. I buy Adidas. I buy certain clothes. I buy shoes and shit. I also buy J's and shit. But Yeezys got Adidas back in the game.
Yeah, for real.
They got them back in the game, and to this day I see Yeezys every single day on every walk of life. Niggas is still wearing them. It ain't like what Kanye said was so abhorrent that people's like, oh man, I can't wear these shits no more. Nigga, y'all still in them 350s and 750s. Y'all, I see foam runners in the goddamn grocery store every day. So it's like, and they tell me they got like $500 million worth of stock. They can't move.
They just said they lost 1.3, didn't they? They just announced it.
Yeah, but they lost that much total,
already, and
but
they could be losing more.
But they got $550 million in stock sitting in the warehouse, that they can't move.
Yeah. It's crazy how they can't sell. That's how different, and that's how infectious Kanye West is. That's how important of a figure he is to the world. I think myself. I think he's so important to the world to the point that people don't want him to be that important to the world because he's too powerful, and it's almost like a rabbit with a gun. You know?
They think. I mean, you got guys like Ben Shapiro, like you know who Candace Owens is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Candace Owens works for Ben Shapiro's conservative news network, Daily Wire. Mm-hmm. Candace Owens and Kanye, they like brother and sister. They fuck with each other like that.
Yeah.
Basically, Ben Shapiro, and he is Jewish, by the way.
Right.
And he's like, nope, you can't bring Kanye on here. And so, and it's like, so Kanye can't get up here and say his story because, this whole anti-Semitic thing. And I've asked people all the time, I said, explain to me what anti-Semitic is. Look, really, explain it to me. What did he say that was so abhorrent? Because I hear, oh my God, he's saying these anti-Semitic things and it can lead to another Holocaust. And I'm like, whoa, that's a little hyperbolic.
That's really, really hyperbolic.
And it's funny because it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
To suggest that Jews have prominent roles in major financial institutions and other places, and then you can point at specific Jewish people who actually have that influence in that position, and then someone like Kanye West says something that you deem as derogatory about Jews, and then he instantly gets effectively wiped off the internet.
Right.
And made persona non grata. But then you're going to turn around and tell me there is no Jewish power base?
This is for our listeners. What is persona non grata?
Persona non grata is basically
Asking for a
you're
friend.
not welcome here. It's a diplomatic term.
Gotcha.
If you're a diplomat in a foreign country and the government in the foreign government, you're a diplomat and they say you're persona non grata. That means you're no longer welcome here. You have to leave.
Oh wow.
And so that's basically what Kanye. Hey, you're no longer welcome here.
They
You're-
made a term for it. Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's basically what's happening to Kanye, and that's why you see him going on Alex Jones's InfoWars channel, and of course he's just saying the wildest shit possible because he knows all of you will talk about it. And if you notice here in the last couple of months or so, Kanye been chilling.
Yeah, he got out the way.
He done messed around, got married to some chick who coincidentally was just like him,
Right.
and
She was with the group. She was with the same. They was all in the same vicinity.
yeah, and when you
She's
just,
friends with Kim.
and you just look at it, and I've still to this day, I've asked people, I know Jewish people in person, and I was just like, I just want you to explain to me what's so bad about what he said.
Right.
And no one can really tell me.
He never said he hated them, did he?
No, he matter of fact, he claims
He said they loved him.
he claims to be a Semite.
Yeah, he claims to be
and,
one.
And
Right.
Kyrie did the same shit. And you see what they did to Kyrie?
This show ain't going nowhere already. I can already tell. They're gonna kill us.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying I agree. with
Just for
anything they
saying
said.
that. Just for saying.
But I'm gonna say it like this.
saying
And I don't give a fuck who is Jew. It's hard for me to identify a Jew if I saw one.
Right.
Unless you got a yarmulke on or some shit.
Unless you actually claim it. Yeah. If you identify as a Jew, then I can
and even then,
yeah.
what does that mean to me?
They don't all look a certain way. It's
Be-
not
because I guarantee you, to most white people, most black people, Jews look like white people.
Yeah, they're white people.
We just consider y'all white people.
No, they are white people. They are white people. They just Jewish white people. They call them when you read up on the Holocaust, they only say European Jews. They repeat that over and over again. All the European Jews.
Mm-hmm.
So those were just European Jews. Those were not that's not the only Jew. And I'm not saying the Holocaust is okay. That's terrible.
I mean,
horrible.
that goes without saying. Anyone who would suggest
Right.
otherwise, they're just looking to start some dumb shit.
Right. So, but the European Jews is what they call them. So it's not, they never call them just Jews. Like, these are the Jews. They're not the Jews. They're just European Jews, people that identified as Jewish who lived in Germany and lived in Europe and Vienna and these different cities and stuff. And they called them Jewish. They called them ghettos. That's where the word ghetto came from.
Yeah.
Kanye identifies as a Jew. And at the same time, no one's speaking on that. They're speaking on, they think he hates Jews.
Well,
And he keeps calling himself one.
well, this is what happened. This is how you know someone is saying something that is an uncomfortable truth. They never attack what you actually said. They never address your argument. They immediately engage in sign language, which, for you Kevin Samuels fans out here, means shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. And they immediately, you hate Jews.
Right.
You're a racist. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Right.
You're a terrible person. You're a terrible husband. You're a terrible father. They immediately start attacking the character of the person instead of what he's actually saying, because they
Right.
want you to forget what he actually said, because they don't want to contend with it. They want to turn you into a villain. Now, I'm not saying what Kanye said is correct, because quite frankly, I don't listen to Kanye West for anything profound. I'm willing to listen to it.
I do.
and that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
I don't. So
I think he's a brilliant guy. I love his perspective on things.
well,
yeah.
with these huge celebrity characters. I mean, hell, I don't particularly even listen to someone like Jay-Z because I don't look to these celebrities as pillars of wisdom and models for my own behavior.
Right.
And so,
As you shouldn't.
so
it's silly.
So when someone says someone like that, even though they have a lot of influence, me personally, it never bothers me if they say something I think is idiotic. I just go, that was some dumb ass shit, and I move
Right.
on with the rest of my day.
Right.
Like it's very few things I think anyone can say. Like even if you know, it's very few. Like sure, like yeah, I think pedophilia is okay. Yeah, that's something that's something I find morally repugnant. So then I was like, yeah, fuck that nigga. Like, but you know, just I think the Jews are controlling the system and they're trying to hold me down. Okay, well, who the fuck are you talking about, Kanye? Name some names. You know, to me that would be my response. I'm not. I'm like, well, nigga, who you talking about? You talking about Leo Cohen or you talking about Ben Shapiro? I don't know. Tell me who you talking about so we can like you just when you just saying the Jews, that's needlessly vague to me.
Right.
And I think Kanye like because he did like a Tim Pool podcast and he was just acting crazy. He did a Lex Friedman podcast and Lex Friedman, who is a Jew, he was like, hey, all right, look, you feel this way. I can tell you feel this way. Who are you talking about? Let's name some names so
Right.
we can address what you think is going on. And that to me that's a mistake. He
No,
left it so
I think
vague.
naming names would be a mistake, because naming names would make a personal thing public, and if you go on and address a mass audience and address it from a mass perspective, then it's smarter war wise. If you're at war with these people, it's smarter to not let them know you see them. It's smarter to not let you know you see what they're doing. So it's more wiser to say, well, everyone in Hollywood is a Jew, who owns every company in Hollywood is a Jew. But it's smarter to attack a mass group than it is to attack one person. It's almost like getting jumped versus fighting someone one on one.